What do the stars of The Chosen truly believe when the cameras stop rolling? Is it just acting?
To the already high prices.
Or is their faith as real as the story they tell? Asterisk, The Chosen is more than a television show. It is a global phenomenon that has touched millions
No more
of
unsuitable on
hearts.
my head than any of
People
yours.
from every corner of the world watch it.
We both know that
Not only because
I
of the
get
story
it.
of Jesus,
I do.
but because of how real
Many
the
of
characters
these religious
feel.
leaders had dead.
The actors bring history to
Whoever
life,
lives and
yet a
believes
question
in me
always lingers in the minds of
shall
the
never
audience.
These guys were trained
What?
to fight together in the battlefield
About
and
their
organize
personal
units.
faith?
World
Do they
hadn't seen
believe in
anything
what
like
they
it.
are portraying?
Look at me.
Or is it only performance? The cast members are often asked
That's
this,
not what I asked.
and their answers surprise many.
It's time.
Some of them have shared how acting in The Chosen changed
And he
the way they
drives him
see
out.
life. For one actor
Cleanse him
playing,
his father's house.
a disciple was not just a role. It was a moment of self-discovery. Standing in front of the camera while repeating the words of Scripture made him stop and think. It was no longer just a script. It was something living.
In the law.
He later admitted that the
That's easy.
experience made him reflect
Shall love the
deeply on
Lord
his
your-
own faith.
So even what
He could
I do not understand.
not walk away unchanged. Another actor revealed that she
It
grew
was
up
their
in a religious
sidearm.
family,
You know,
but it
Caesar
slowly
became
drifted away as she entered the
uncom-
busy world of acting. The long schedules, the pressure of auditions, and the constant search for the next role had taken over her life, but then
All the
came
greedy
The
merchants
Chosen.
right into the
The
temple
words she
courts.
spoke as her character started
it
to echo inside her
was
own heart. She said that she began to pray again, quietly at first, then more openly. The role had reignited something that had once been lost, and she
By the
could no
first
longer ignore
century,
it.
the
Taters,
law
powerful
surrounding
to
the
see how a
Torah
story
had
meant for the
evolved.
screen,
The end of the age.
began to shape the lives of those who performed it. Some of the cast describe moments on set that felt like more than just acting. They talk about scenes where the air felt heavy, where silence fell in a way that seemed sacred. For them, it was not a stage. It was a moment of worship. These moments raised questions
To
not only in
Rome
their
and
minds,
Sanhedrin.
but also in the hearts of
Feels
viewers
pretty
who
icky,
watched
doesn't
it.
it?
Was this faith real, or was it simply art imitating belief? The truth is that the show became a bridge between performance and conviction. While some cast
Dedicated their entire
members already
lives
held
to Torah,
strong beliefs,
interpreting
others found
it,
themselves
preserving
facing faith
it.
in a new way. They admitted that the roles opened doors they had not planned to walk through. They began to think about God
Combine
not
that
as part of a
training with
job,
the
but
quality
as
of
part
their
of their daily
weapons, and
lives.
they could have.
And slowly, their words during interviews
I'm
revealed
not
something
asking
honest
about
there.
who's helping you.
True faith was coming into the light asterisk.
Maybe wait till I say
When the
that
cast began
after
sharing
I'm
their
done.
personal stories,
Right there
many
at the
fans were
temple
stunned.
doors.
The
Add a
audience expected
surcharge
good
and an exchange
performances.
tax.
But what they found was something far deeper. Behind the camera, the actors were not simply reading lines, they were wrestling with faith in real life. Some of them
Of the
confessed
Torah,
that the show
and
forced
add
them to
even
ask questions
more
they had
laws to
long
follow.
avoided. Who is God to me?
Whoever believes in me,
Do I actually
even if he
believe my
dies,
words? I speak on
Day in
screen.
this armor?
One actor explained that before
They
joining
were
the
in great
series,
shape.
he never thought much about faith. At all, he was focused on career, fame, and success. Yet the first time he put on the costume of his character and spoke lines about trust and hope, something
All
shifted
the prices
inside
go
him.
up.
He said it was like
And the
looking into a mirror
Sanhedrin
that
had
showed
allowed-
him who he really was.
whom some have
The
taken
role
to
pushed him
calling
to search for
Alexander the
answers.
Great, but whom
And
we
he
call
admitted in an
Alexander.
interview that he began to pray for the first time in years.
You too.
Another actress shared a different kind.
On people's shoulders,
Of journey.
but they themselves
She had always
were not
believed
willing
in
to
God,
move them with their finger.
but her faith felt distant, almost like a memory.
I know he will rise
Then the
again with all
Chosen
of
placed
us
her
in
in
the
scenes
resurrection
where
of-
she had to
The
embody
story
both
needs
suffering
end.
and redemption. She confessed that
It's
while
gonna get
filming
hairy.
those moments, she could feel her own heart breaking open. She described standing in silence after a take, tears still in her eyes, realizing that the words she had just spoken as her character were also meant. For her, from that day,
Their
she said her
lambs,
faith was no longer
their
hidden.
cattle,
It became real
and their
alive.
doves.
These experiences show that the cast were not acting in isolation, but living inside a story that pulled them closer to something greater. Some admitted that when the director
The
called
best ways
cut,
to up
the
your
emotions
standing
did
in the
not disappear.
Sanhedrin
The weight
was
of
to
the
come up
words
with novel
lingered.
interpretations.
Don't
The
understand.
prayers spoken on screen carried
I
into
am
their
the
private
resurrection
lives.
and the life.
Even those who began the project with little
average
belief
soldier would
found
probably
themselves
walk
caught in the
about
journey they never expected.
20 miles a
It was not about playing a role anymore. It was about discovering truth. The honesty in their voices during interviews proved it. Their eyes carried a light that could not be explained away as performance. The audience could feel that
Jesus
something
grabs
real was
his whip.
happening, and the more the cast admitted their faith, the more fans connected with them. not just as characters, but as human beings, searching for the same answers. Asterisk what makes these confessions
Lose the plot.
even more powerful is how the audience reacted.
Is the great
God
Fans
who's
of The
coming into
Chosen
the world.
are not just viewers, they are people searching for meaning.
do that.
When they heard the cast speak openly
This
about their
is
faith,
the dagger.
it felt like a personal invitation. The screen was no longer a wall between actor and audience. It became a bridge. Some fans said they felt comfort knowing that the people bringing these
Jerusalem.
sacred stories to life
And we all know what
actually
happens
believed
when thousands of tourists
They
come
felt
to
the
town.
emotion in every word, not as performance, but as
Alexander, son
testimony.
of Philip the Master.
Others shared that the honesty of the cast gave them courage to talk about their own faith. They wrote messages saying,
What? They tie
if
up
the
heavy
actors of The
burdens,
Chosen can
hard to
admit what they
bear,
believe,
and lay them.
then I can too. One moment that stood out was when a
brother will
cast
rise
member
again.
revealed that he prayed before filming certain scenes. He did not pray for better acting. He prayed for
practically
strength to
perfected
honor
the
the
use of
message.
force.
He admitted that he sometimes felt
Buckle up.
unworthy of the role,
hearing it
but those prayers carried him through.
You've been having a bad
Fans
day
were
for a
deeply
long time.
moved, many saying that this kind of devotion is what made the show feel so authentic. Another
Nowhere
confession
else to
came
get their
from an
sacrificial
actress,
offerings.
said that portraying
So,
a woman healed
They
by
bought their
Jesus
gold.
And the
touched her
means.
life in a way she
He
never
succeeded
expected.
him as king.
Explained that she had struggled with doubt for years, but acting out the scene where hope breaks through gave her a sense of peace she had been missing.
Dictating every
Viewers
part
responded
of
by
Jewish
saying that her
life.
performance felt real
Because one of-
because it was real,
I
both
am
on
the life
set
that
and
overcomes
inside her
death.
heart. These testimonies
to
began to
protect
spread
and
online.
serve.
Clips of interviews were
More
shared
like
across social
threaten
media.
and control.
Quotes from the actors were posted alongside verses from scripture,
And when I
and
do
with
get
each
to
story, the impact grew stronger. It was no longer only about the series. It was about
Would
lives
travel
being
for
changed
days,
on both sides
even
of the screen.
weeks,
The
just
Chosen
to
had
make
become more than
pilgrimage
entertainment,
to
to become a movement of faith, carried by actors who dared to reveal their truth, and by viewers who saw themselves reflected in those words. The honesty of the
Ever have
cast
helmet
gave the
hair?
audience
Not
permission
the
to
works
believe
they
again,
do.
to ask questions again,
For they
to
preach,
hope again.
but do not practice.
Asterisk,
relief.
the most powerful moment came when the cast stopped speaking as
I know you-
actors and began speaking as people whose lives had been changed. One by
Not
one,
only
they admitted that The
insanely
Chosen was not
powerful
just a
and near
job,
its peak in
but
size
it
in the
touched
first
their
century.
souls. They said it was impossible to tell the story of Jesus without being confronted by it themselves. Some of them openly declared their faith with courage. They said, "Yes, I believe this, and it is who I am." Others were honest about their struggle, saying they were still on the journey, still asking questions, still searching for truth. Yet even in that honesty, there was something beautiful, because admitting the search itself was an act of faith.
Listen,
Fans
the
around the world
Pharisees
listened,
sit on-
and many broke down in
Whatever you
tears.
ask from God.
They realized that these were not just performers giving lines on a script. They were human beings living the same story of
were
doubt,
just-
hope, pain, and redemption that so many people experience. That is why every confession mattered. It showed that the faith behind the scenes was as real as the one being portrayed on screen. The Chosen became more than a series because of this honesty. It became a testimony, not only of Christ, but of ordinary men
Road-weary
and women
pilgrim-
who dared to say what they truly believe.
defeated King
That is why
Darius
people
of
keep
the
watching,
Persians-
not only for the story of Jesus, but because they see truth shining through the eyes of those who play his followers.
And to
in
hundreds
the
of
end.
dues
What makes these confessions unforgettable is not
and don't.
the fame
time
of the
to wait.
cast or the success of the show.
That's not the
It is the
resurrection I'm
courage
talking
to admit
about.
belief in a
These
world where many
guys
stay
were
silent.
trained career soldiers
Their
whose main
voices
goal
remind
was
us that
definitely
faith
not
is not a costume, not a performance, not
I
a script.
have no one.
Faith is real, and it changes lives when spoken with honesty. And so the question turns to
Take these away!
us,
Stop
the
making
audience
my
watching
father's
from
house a
home.
place of business!
If the cast of The Chosen can step forward and share their faith, then what will we do
And
with ours?
slaughtered the
Asterisk?
kings of the earth.
As the cast admitted their true faith, something unexpected began to happen. The stories no longer stayed
But somewhere
inside the
along
set.
the way,
They
the
spilled into
Sanhedrin just
conversations
seemed to-
across
I
living
believe
rooms,
you are
schools,
the Christ.
and churches. Viewers said they felt
The
as if
Son
the
of God.
actors
conquered
were
over half the
speaking
inhabited
directly
planet.
to them, reminding
Well, actually,
them that faith was not
yeah, they
distant
kinda did.
or unreachable,
Who's not helping?
but alive and ordinary people.
Who's getting in your way?
One actor revealed that after filming, strangers would stop him on the street and ask about his
Let's get
beliefs.
through all of this.
Instead of feeling pressure, he saw it as a gift. He said it was a chance to share something real, to stand as himself
And
rather
so,
than as a character.
Feast of dedication.
For him, the line between
this is
acting and
humility.
living had faded.
we will comply.
The show gave him courage to stand openly in his faith. Another actress confessed that she was nervous at first to admit her beliefs.
I
The
understand.
world of entertainment often discourages people from speaking openly about faith. But she said The Chosen gave her the strength to finally say it without fear. Her words were simple, yet strong. Believe. And with that, countless viewers felt the weight of honesty that no script could create. These personal testimonies created a ripple effect.
It is too early.
Fans shared their own stories online, inspired by the bravery of the cast. Parents said they used these interviews to talk to their children about faith. Communities held group watchings, not just to enjoy the series, but to discuss the confessions
Only one
behind it.
person who really made
The
them
actors had
squirm in
become
their
more than
seats.
performers. They had become
rabbi.
voices that encouraged
Not to be
others
angry.
to stand true.
You didn't come sooner.
The power of these admissions was not in polished speeches, but in raw truth. Some of them spoke with trembling voices, some with tears, some with steady confidence. Each one carried the same message. Faith matters, and it can be lived even in front of the world.
When?
That honesty is what gave The Chosen its strength. Strength that no set, no camera, no costume could ever create. And so the audience began to see the show in a new way. They were not only watching history retold,
There is a legal limit.
They were watching
maximum
faith
of 1 mile
lived
and no further.
right in front of them.
whole
Asterix,
system
the confessions of the
power.
cast, began shaping the legacy of The Chosen far beyond the screen. What started as a series grew into a global conversation
And devastating.
about belief, honesty, and courage. Viewers were not only drawn to the story of Jesus, but to the real voices behind it. Every interview, every admission of faith
Many answers.
became part of the larger narrative.
But I'm listening.
Churches began hosting
Has not yet come.
watch nights where the series was played, and then the cast interviews were shown
A
afterwards.
feast so important
People said
to
they found
thousands of
comfort
Jews
knowing
from all
that
over the
the
Roman Empire.
Actors
that
they
they
admired were not pretending, were walking their own journeys of faith. For many, it felt like the walls of separation between celebrity and ordinary believer had been broken. Teachers brought these stories into classrooms, telling students that faith is not something only hidden in books, it
Whatever
is
it
something
is,
lived
give
by.
us hope.
Real people, even in the world of entertainment. Families gathered together, sharing how
Our
the
level of
actors'
violence that
courage
was
gave them strength
practically
to
daily
talk
life.
about what they themselves
And the Roman
believed.
Empire was
In many ways, the Confessions turned the series into a teaching tool, one that spoke louder than sermons. One powerful example came when a fan wrote that she had been struggling
Well,
with doubt for years.
oil his
After
blood.
watching an actor admit that he too wrestled with questions, she felt a sudden release.
Sanctified us with his
She
commandments.
realized faith did not
and
require
commandments.
perfection.
Everyone remain
It
calm.
required honesty. That testimony spread online, shared thousands of times.
But for
It's
all
becoming a
their
lifeline for others who felt the
internal
same.
squabbling, it was
The
a
influence
would
of
not
The
have
Chosen grew, not just because of its production quality or storytelling, but because of the truth that spilled out from its cast. Their willingness to admit belief gave the series an authenticity that could not be manufactured. And as these stories reached millions across different cultures and languages,
I have a question.
one
for
truth became clear: when faith is spoken with honesty, it crosses every boundary. The series was no longer seen as only historical
It's the
drama.
Passover.
It became a movement where faith was alive in the actors, alive in the audience, and alive in the conversations that followed. The Confessions turned into seeds planted across the world, and the fruit of those seeds was seen
So
in changed
do
lives.
and observe
Asterisk.
whatever they
The journey of the Chosen cast reveals something greater than television.
My child.
Their voices, their honesty, and their faith turned a series into a testimony. They showed that storytelling has
Ancient
power
times
when it is
were
lived,
brutal.
not
I
only
mean, like,
performed,
rated R.
and they proved that even in a world full of doubt, faith can still shine with clarity. The legacy of these confessions is not measured in awards or ratings. It is
In
measured in
money.
hearts stirred and
When
lives
Jesus
changed.
enters the temple to find his
Every time a
father's
fan
house
watches the
trans-
series now, they remember the words spoken by the cast behind the scenes. They know the tears were not only part of a role. The prayers were not only lines from a script. They were real.
She wouldn't have been allowed in the
They
room.
came from people who chose to be open,
This is a
even when the
Sanhedrin.
world was watching. And this is what gives The Chosen its strength. It
The
is
Son of Man.
not only the
must
story of
suffer
Jesus
many
that
things.
moves people, it is the faith of those who carry that
Possibility
story
of a
on their
Jewish
shoulders.
revolt. And
They
Rome
admitted
had
what
one
they truly
surefire way to
believed,
keep that from
and by
happening.
doing so, They gave the world something more powerful than entertainment. They gave
With
the
you,
world truth. Now the question rests with us.
please.
We've heard their words, we've seen their courage, and we've felt their faith. What will we do with ours?
Begins.
Will we remain silent, or will we step forward and speak with the same
His
honesty?
dignity.
The cast of The Chosen have admitted their true faith. And in doing so, they have left us with a challenge to live what we believe, to speak without fear, and to let truth shape the world around
But
us.
even now I know.
Asterisk.